Welcome to Cake Decorating TV. I'm Abby and this is Despina,
show manager of the Cake and Bake Show.
And today we're going to be playing around with this fantastic, unique little cutter, and we're going to be doing a variety of animal faces here. And then once we're finished, we're going to hand over to Despina and she's going to have a go herself. So let's have a little look in this box. I've got in here loads of different animal faces.
Wow.
You can see a few around the edge.
Where do we start?
Oh gosh. Right, so the great thing about this cutter is that you can do all these different faces from this one single cutter. It's brilliant. Also, you don't have to be limited to animal faces. I mean, I've done Father Christmas over here. I've even got an Easter basket. It's quite a versatile cutter. So should we get started?
Let's do it.
Right, so first up, we're going to show you how to make this really cute little unicorn. I really love this one because I love all the colours. And I love this cute little nose.
I know.
Right.
See, that looks so hard to make, but
no,
I'm sure
really simple actually. It's a really lovely one to make. So I've got some white sugar paste here. Okay. All of these are made out of sugar paste, and we've done that so that you can eat them. Oh. If you use things like modelling paste, sometimes they set a bit hard and they can break your teeth. Not good.
So these won't do that?
No, they're going to stay nice and soft, so that, you know, it doesn't matter if kids are eating them.
Excellent.
Okay. I'm just going to dust a little corn flour on my surface here.
What's that for?
So it's a little bag with some corn flour in, which is just to stop it from sticking to the surface. It's going to stop that from getting sticky.
It always sticks.
Yeah, these are brilliant because they just pop in a little box in the cupboard and they keep it nice and contained. Sometimes if you take it out of the box, it's everywhere. Okay, so I'm just going to roll this out. So I'm going to use my cutter now and I'm going to use the round part of it to make the head. Pop that out. So that's the first bit. This is the biggest part you're going to use. And then to make these ears, I'm just going to use this sort of triangular shape here. In fact, I'm going to roll my paste out a little bit thinner for that.
Oh, so you can make it as thick and thin, depending on...
Yeah, definitely. So for the fits on the face, you kind of want them a bit thinner, otherwise they start to get quite bulky. So we're going to cut that one out there.
Oh wow, that really is cute.
I'm just going to use the end of a paintbrush just to pop that out, like so. And I'm going to do 2 of those. Just like that. Get rid of the bits that you don't need. Lovely. And we're going to attach these with a little bit of edible glue, which I've got here in a pot. So this is like a sugar glue, so it's perfectly edible to eat.
Amazing.
And you can just, it's great for sticking things on. So
I bet this is like key for the...
Yep, I've got pots and pots of it at home. Okay, so I'm going to stick these on. I've popped a little bit of glue on there. And they're going to sit just on the top of your head, like so. With a little gap in the middle. And I'm going to cut a third one out, which we're going to use to make this horn. And later I'm going to paint it gold.
And it really does look gold.
Yeah, it's brilliant. It's such a lovely gold. Let's get my paintbrush. Like so. And I'm going to use my cutter to mark these little lines on it to kind of look like the horn's sort of spiralling. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to use this part here.
Right.
So I'm going to turn it over, and we're just going to mark little diagonal lines all the way up.
That cutter is so handy.
It's really clever. So that's that one. And then I'm going to glue that and pop it in the middle. There's my glue gun. So I was at Cake and Bake last year at Despina and it was so busy.
Mental, honestly. And we were actually 15% up on sold tickets, so it was mental.
Yes.
I tried to come and see you guys, but cake decorating stand was immensely busy.
We were on the go the whole weekend. It was really great fun though. Oh. We really loved it.
See, the good thing with you guys is you do a lot of demonstrations and people want to see that and then encourages them to buy. And with our visitors, we have about 30,000 and they love to see how it's done.
Yeah.
So it's really good, yeah.
Definitely. It's the whole thing about having a go, isn't it? People love to sort of try new things, don't they? Right, okay, so now that I've got my horns and my ears on, I'm going to move my white over to the side. And I'm going to pick up some pale pink, and we're going to make this big bit for his nose and the little tiny bits that go in his ears.
There we go. Corn flour?
Yep, corn flour. Lovely. I've definitely got way more paste than I need here, but okay. So for the ears, I'm going to use the same cutter again, that little triangular one, and I'm going to cut 2 out. Right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make these slightly smaller. So I'm going to cut them again, just slightly further down.
With the same size?
With the same cutter. So I'm going to line it up. So I've got sort of about 3/4 of it, half to 3/4 in there. Just going to cut it. So you end up with like a smaller version. Same again on this one. Like that.
Wow.
And then we're going to glue those into the middle of the ears.
It's very artistic, don't you find? There's so many things to think about.
Yeah, it does take a little work sometimes. Yeah. You have to sort of really, sometimes I have to think, oh, how am I going to make this? But that's the great thing about this cutter is that you've got all those different shapes and you can make them smaller, you can cut them in half.
I'm just so surprised how easy it is to make, honestly. Because with the show, we have a lot of home bakers through to the sugar professionals, and I think this appeals to all, really.
Yeah, it's great fun. Right, so for his nose, I'm going to cut out, let's roll that out a bit bigger, another one of the large circles. This time I am making this quite thin because we're going to start building it up, obviously.
Yeah.
Like so.
So you've used the full cutter.
I've used the full cutter there, and I'm going to cut it down. So I'm going to cut sort of about 2/3 maybe off. So you're left with this sort of really sort of nice sort of eye shape.
Yeah.
Let's move that to one side. And then that is going on our face here. A little bit of glue. Line it up with the bottom.
Perfectly.
So you get that little nose. Right, so to make the nostrils, we're going to use the tiniest cutter on this. So it is a bit fiddly, this one.
So do these need to be thicker, or?
Yeah, I'm going to make these slightly thicker because I'm actually going to use the end of my paintbrush to make a dent in the middle. So, right. I'm just going to pop that out, like so. They're really tiny, these ones.
They really are.
I pop these out and lose them all the time.
I think that's what I would do, actually.
And then I'm going to put a little bit of glue, just a dot to put each one of these on. Sort of in the middle at the top of that nose.
Yeah.
There's very delicate hands here. And one on there. And then one on there.
Perfect.
Like so. And then I'm going to use the end of my small brush here. You can use anything that's got sort of a point on it.
Yeah.
A skewer or cocktail stick will work. And I'm just going to indent those so they look like little nostrils.
God, detail, the finer details really coming together now.
They do make it. It's sort of when you've got that cutter, and then you start to add all those little bits, you start to think, oh, actually, this does look like a unicorn.
Yeah.
Right, so I'm going to bring my cutter back in, and I'm just going to use the edge of one of these round ones here. You can use any of these. And I'm just going to put a little tiny curved mark to make his little mouth, like so.
Easy as that.
Really simple. And then what should we do next? Let's start on his hair, I think. So I'm going to use 3 different colours here. I've got some really nice bright colours.
Cake and bake colour, love that.
Brilliant pink. So bring my rolling pin back in. So I'm going to use this triangular one again, and I'm going to cut one of each colour out.
So how long can the icing last for? Where would you store them?
Various, I mean, they all come in sealed packages.
Yeah.
The great thing about Satina is it comes in pots, so you can store it brilliantly.
Yes.
So they will keep as long as they're kept airtight.
Great. Because I always, see, I do the wrong thing, I throw it away, but you shouldn't, because everyone says to me, look, you can reuse them.
You can. I mean, it's great for things like this because you can use lots of little pieces. That's why we like the Satina, because it is in nice tubs. Right. And a blue one.
So we can get the Satina from your website, right?
Yeah, that can come from it comes from Cake Craft World.
Okay, fine, yeah.
So straight off of their website. In fact, everything you're going to see here today is available on their website.
Amazing.
Right, so I'm actually going to use a little palette knife for this. You can use a craft knife or any other sort of blade, and I'm just going to cut into these like so.
Okay.
In fact, I'm actually going to cut them into separate pieces because they're easier to work with. Da, da, da.
Oh, I see what you're doing there.
So we're
These are
going to
the
make those little
strands of hair.
strands of hair. Yeah, that's it.
They're such
There we
good
go.
colours. I can see it's
so
going to set
bright.
it off a lot.
And then I'm just going to pop a little bit of glue just underneath his horn. And I'm going to take one of these. This is a bit fiddly for me. And I'm just going to curve them round in my fingers so that you get these nice little curls of hair. And then they stick just onto the top.
That is so good.
One going the other way.
And so you can layer them on top of each other.
Yeah,
if
you can
want.
layer them up. And you can use as many or as little as you like. I mean, you could go all the way down the side, if you were going to make a pony, say,
Yeah.
go all the way down the side of the face.
I might have to attempt that at home.
Oh, trying to drop that one.
And with the glue, you just need a very small spot. You can
Yes.
just keep reusing.
Just a little tiny bit. Okay, so I think he's got enough hair on him there. Okay, so for the eyes, I'm going to take a little bit of white. Dusting our surface with corn flour,
I
stop it
love
from
that.
sticking. And we're going to use the tiny round like we did for the nostrils.
Yeah. Oh, I noticed you did it on the actual...
Yeah, just to stop it from sticking. Sometimes if the paste gets a bit warm.
These are just really good tips to know, though.
Definitely.
I'm sure you say at the Cake and Bake Show.
The interesting thing about this cutter, I will tell you now, managing director Lynn Glacier at Cake Craft World, she designed it and worked with FMM to make it.
Wow.
So
two very great bands working together.
yeah.
That's amazing.
Definitely. And she spent hours. I remember seeing lots of sketches of how to make it. It was brilliant. Also, actually, if you are a member of Cake Decorating TV, don't forget you get 10% off on Cake Craft World and Cake Craft Shop. Okay, I've got some black here now, which I'm rolling out, and I'm going to use the next sort of smallest cutter up, this little oval here.
Okay.
I'm going to cut two of those out. One. Two. And these are going to form the sort of the big parts of our eyes.
Yeah.
I'm just going to glue these on. I find it easier to sort of glue these together, then put them on, because otherwise you're trying to... Yes.
So find a layer on top.
So let's put these up here. So I need a little bit of glue. There. And then they just go on top of that. If I can pick them up. Like so. And then these go onto our face here. So squeeze them in. This is where I lose an eye.
This is why I'm trying not to talk.
The concentration on my face. Just going to use a dry paintbrush here just to wiggle those round. Put that in there. And same with this one. Use the soft end, don't use the hard end. End up with a great big hole in this. There you go, there's your eyes. In this little jar here, I've got some little tiny white druggies. These are great for adding that little sparkle to the eye.
Yeah.
So I'm going to use my glue brush, and it's got a little bit of glue on the end, so you can pick these up. I'm just going to pop a little bit on there so that sticks, and then use the same brush to pick them up. That's a really handy trick to know, because otherwise trying to do those with your fingers. And that one on there. Brilliant. So the final thing to do to our unicorn is we're going to add some dusts. So I'm going to add a little bit
This is the bit I've been waiting for.
a little tiny bit of pink to blush his cheeks, and then we're going to paint his horn gold. Right, I'm just going to pop a little tiny bit of this down, like a minute bit, and I've got some dusky pink here. And I'm going to use the end of a dry brush and sort of tap off the excess, because if you put it straight on, you're going to get a great big pink blob.
Yeah.
And then just dust that in on either side. like so.
Beautiful.
And then for the, let's find a clean paintbrush for the gold. Right, this is going to go everywhere, by the way. Oh. I'm actually going to mix this with a little bit of Rejuvenator here. Just using my board.
So what would that do?
So Rejuvenator is like an alcohol spirit.
Okay.
So it's going to make it into a paint, but whereas water will make it sticky, it'll make all your icing sticky, this will evaporate very quickly.
Oh, wow.
So it dries really quick, so you can paint with it on sugar, basically.
Oh, so you can literally mix it up with the... Wow.
Mix it with the dust to make a paint.
Oh, and that's how you get the shine of the colour?
Yes. And then we're just going to paint his horn in.
That is so pretty.
We use this gold on everything at work. What does that need? A bit of gold. That's what that needs.
That's a handy tip with the...
There you go. And as you start to paint, you start to notice those little lines that we put on earlier, and they kind of accentuate it, don't they?
They do, yeah.
There you go.
Wow.
So that was a lot simpler than you thought?
100%.
Definitely. Brilliant. Right, so the next we're going to move on to is our Father Christmas over here.
Excellent.
So I'm going to get you to help me out with this one a bit, Despina. I've got all the bits and pieces cut out for our Santa here, so we're just going to pop them all on.
Okay.
While I'm showing people how to make the hat, because that's a tricky shape, can you start sticking those bits on for me?
Yes. Okay, so I get to use the glue now?
Yes.
Amazing. Okay,
Right.
I'm going to start.
That's it. There you go.
So just a dab, yeah?
Just a dab. Lovely. Okay, so I've cut the round one out here, the large one, and I'm just going to cut it in to a sort of a triangular shape. But I'm going to cut the bottom off here like this. So you've got that eye shape, and we're going to get rid of that bit. And then I'm cutting the sides in, all using the round large cutter here. So cut one way, and then one the other. Just using that, neaten that side up a little bit. So you end up with this sort of curve, but with it's got a bit of a point to the top of it.
Yeah.
And then if it's a bit too big, you can just sort of trim it down from the bottom. So that's our hat shape there. Let's get rid of some of this. So Despina, tell us, when is Cake and Bake? Because I'm supposed to be there.
Yes, you are there. So it's the 5th to the 7th of October, 3 days from a Friday to Sunday. This year it's going to be bigger and better. We say this every year and it does. So one of our new features we introduced to last year was the Sugarcraft Zone in the stage. So yeah, that's coming back, and actually we're going to get one of the girls from you guys to come along, so come and see them on the stage. But it's a real good interaction of tips, learning so many different things and the educational side of things. You guys are right by the Super Theatre this year, so right beside it, K30.
Make sure you come and say hi.
Yes. So tell us what you'll be doing on the stand.
We're going to be demonstrating this cutter actually, which is going to be so much fun for people because you can really play around with it. Obviously, we're going to have loads of people doing lots of different things. I mean, whether it's a teddy bear or a unicorn or a ladybug, so everyone will be able to go away with something different. And I think that's really important. Actually, people really liked being able to take away what they made.
Well, actually, we do a lot of research, and a lot of people, as well as it's like the educational side of things, it's also once they're demonstrating and actually getting involved, they want to take it home with them. So that's really great. You'll be doing it on the stand. So
people are really proud of what they make, aren't they? They go,
are.
"Oh, I didn't realise it was that easy." It is.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll pass you your little hat there.
Yeah. Am I doing okay?
Yeah, perfect.
So I'm overlapping now here.
Yep, start to overlap those ones.
Okay. So just slightly, like this.
Yeah.
And then it continues to go.
Yeah.
So up here. And the great thing is, like, these cutters, you can use them seasonally, can't you?
Yes.
So Halloween, Christmas, animals.
Definitely. Yes, there's such a variety that you can do. I mean, we're talking about making sort of people's faces. So like for things like Mother's Day or Father's Day, you could make mum or dad. Christmas themed ones, Easter themed ones.
Wow.
Anything you can think of. I mean, we've even got some at work that the girls have done that are roses. So they're not necessarily animal faces, they're just designs as well.
So that's really good for people to know because there's so much you can do.
Definitely.
Am I doing this okay?
Perfect.
Excellent.
I'm going to pop his hat on while you're there.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to go for his nose, and I can just fit that in between like that.
It's all about just working out how we shape sort of slot together. This one here, obviously, I've made it using the oval, and then for his moustache, I've just cut it in half, so you have two little curves.
So should I put the eyes on first and then build up?
Yeah, you can do. It's in whatever you find easier. I mean, if it's easier for you to put them on there and then move the whole thing.
So if I use it here like this, just a spot of glue, I'm going to put the black on top. Cool, this really is intricate. Is that okay?
Perfect.
Okay, I'm just throwing it all over the place.
She's stealing my job soon.
Yes. Okay, like that.
Lovely.
Yep.
And then they can go on top of his face. It really brings them to life when you put the eyes on.
There we go.
Lovely. If you want to just pop one more on here, and we'll join his beard up to his hat.
And we'll just play around with it as it like.
Yeah. However it fits. And then these little tiny ones here, we're going to just use them to run along the edge of his hat. Just sort of this little bobbly bit along here.
So would you do lots of spots first, or?
You can run a little strip of that along, all the way along, because we're going to hide all that glue. Lovely.
Right. Okay, and then literally just add.
Yeah, all along the edge.
So it doesn't really matter how many, as long as you're filling up.
Yeah, as long as you're filling that gap. I reckon sort of about 8 or 9 maybe.
Okay.
But it depends on how big your hat is. If you've made your hat bigger, you'll need more baubles to put on it.
I think one more we're done.
Lovely.
Amazing.
Okay, so I've got one here which was cut out of the little oval, but I've just pinched the edges of it and rounded it off just to roll it into a ball. And that one's just going to sit on the edge of his hat here, like so. And the final thing is to just add those little tiny dots on the eyes and the blush on his cheeks. So, do you want to give this a go? If you pop a little dot of the glue on the blacks of his eye, that's it. And then use the end of your brush just to pick one of those up.
Okay, I've picked up 2. Here we go. Wow,
Lovely.
That was actually really easy.
It's a really clever little trick.
There we go.
Fantastic.
Amazing.
Okay. I'm going to unleash you on the dust now. Right, there's your brush.
Okay.
Ever so slightly dab it in, and then just tap it on the palette to knock off any excess.
Yep.
Yep, and then just a little dot on each of his cheeks.
Oops, but too much.
No, that's fine. Brilliant.
Happy with that?
Yeah.
Not
Are you?
bad. Yeah, that's the first time I've ever used that, and I think I'm not scared to use it going forward.
You can come and demonstrate. You can come and demonstrate on our stall at Cake and Bake.
I will definitely be there, so yeah, I definitely will. So lastly, you can find Abby at the Cake and Bake show from the 5th to the 7th of October. Tickets are now on sale, so you can get that at the website at www.thecakeandbakeshow.co.uk, where you can find Abby on.
So we will be doing Cake Decorating TV on the Cake Craft World stall. We'll be showing you how to use these fantastic cutters. Cake Decorating TV is an online cake decorating school with thousands of hours of video tutorials, ranging from the at-home baker right the way up to doing professional level baking and decorating. Okay, so now that we've done a bit of decorating, you told us, we asked you what your favourite animal was, and you told us it was a wolf.
Yes.
Correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got a little bit of a surprise for you. This one I made for you.
Oh wow! How the hell did you do that from the cutters?
Wow.
That's a different shape.
I mean, this one did take me a little while. We did have to do a bit of a Google to work out how to do it and think about shapes and things. What is interesting about this one is I've not used the full round shape of the cutter, so I've used the round and then I've cut parts of the face away to give him that long nose. So it just shows you really how versatile this cutter is. So
I'm so happy with that.
Brilliant.
Absolutely amazing.
You can take that one home and
Thank
enjoy it
you.
forever. Well,
Amazing.
it's been brilliant having you today, Despina. Thank you
for
so
your time.
much.
I look forward to seeing you guys.
See you all at the Cake and Bake show.